Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're doing deck rebuilds for the new expansion, the Boomsday project. So last time we did Hunter cards, let's now do Mage cards. So Boomsday Mage cards, let's start with what we have. To start there would be, better. So my first deck is a Freeze Elemental deck, which is probably recommended to me by hsreplay.net. It seems like this is probably not something I would have thought of doing. It doesn't look too bad, and because I have the hero replacement of Frostlich Jaina, that's totally a deck that's worth giving a try to. That being said, I'll just delete it because I can get it back later. The other mage deck is a wild deck, and it's a secret mage deck, basically built around playing secrets and spells. So there's two routes for doing the daily quest on secrets. You could either play a secret mage deck, or you could play a secret hunter deck. I don't think you could really easily get that daily quest done on any other character. And that's kind of it for Mage, which makes sense because I don't really like Mage that much, and so that would certainly explain a few things. So if we were to make a new Mage deck, the recommended recipes are Classic Mage, Spells Are So Fun, and Shooting Stars. Classic Mage makes a decent amount of sense, and now that I have Archmage or Antidiones, I can play actually a very powerful but very annoying mage deck that centers around playing Archmage Antonidas and 2 Sorcerer's Apprentices, and then several spells that duplicate Sorcerer's Apprentices to the point where they reduce the cost of a fireball down to 0, so you need 4 Sorcerer's Apprentices, and that's because you get a fireball added to your hand every time you cast a spell. So if you have that set up, you have 4 of these guys, and fireballs cost 0 mana, and you get another fireball every time you cast a spell, and the fireball is a spell, well, guess what? You can go from having an opponent who has 30 health to 0 health in one turn, and there's not much they can really do about it, frankly. It is a mid to late game strategy, but enough people have played it to prove to me that it's annoying and cheap, and it's just not fun. It's not fun to implement, in my opinion, and it's not fun to do. However, I haven't had that legendary card, so that's probably the way HS Replay is going to point me to. Spells Are So Fun, I don't even have enough cards to do that one. It's just a more chaos spell form deck. And then Shooting Stars is basically a spell form deck, so three recommended recipes, all spell form. If I was to switch over to standard decks and click here, it's still recommending me, I believe, the exact same cards. So it seems like the recipes that are getting recommended are always standard recipes, for whatever that really matters. So what do we get new? We have Shooting Star, deal 1 damage to a minion and the minion next to it, so a spell. Add 2 random minions to your hand, okay. Battlecry, the next spell this turn, has spell damage +2, and each player draws 2 cards, spell damage +2, and for each card in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Spell damage +2 makes sense. Pretty much nothing else does. And while a mech deck works in pretty much any of the hero classes, I don't see any real synergy with a mage deck I don't think there's any increase in damage or anything like that. The way I'd like to see them nerf Archmage Antonidas, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again in case somebody's listening at Hearthstone, is I really prefer them to have the Fire Blast spells added at the end of the turn, or change Sorcerer's Apprentice so that it can be spells can cost 1 less but no more that but not go below 1 mana or 2 mana, something like that. Something that would just stop that boring meta deck from getting played. The fact that you saw so many people, and that I've seen so many people playing the Mage, which is the character class for new players, getting played by professionals, that doesn't bode well for the balance of your game. Of course, I could always do a whiz-bang deck, but at that point it's just kind of a random deck. Yeah, there kind of is nothing here. So, spell damage +1. And we'll convert this to a wild deck. And let's see. I don't think I have the hero quest card. Do I? Yeah, I don't. Open the gates. This is one that was played for a while. Doesn't feel like it's been played too much these days. Take that, take that, we'll take that. Take that, and then let's see, we've got to take this one, and then we've got to find duplicate. Yep, duplicate. Maybe I need to look at the phrase copies. Now there is something interesting here. If you draw the rest of your... There was a card that was draw the rest of your hand deck, but I don't know what that was under. Like, if you could draw the rest of your deck, you'd have no duplicates. And that's an old strategy. So, copies. After your opponent plays a minion, add 2 copies to your hand. Let's see. Destroy friendly minion, summon 2 copies of it. And summon 2 copies of this minion. So there's a couple of copies card that you could do. And then you could double, no, use the key phrase twice to double that guy's death rattle with Baron Rivendell. And here's a battle cries triggered twice. There might be a battle cries deck somewhere around here. Okay, so that's 17 of 30 cards. The next thing you would want to do is just fill it up with draw cards. Battlecry, draw a secret from your deck. Draw 3 cards, discard any spells drawn. So you could probably play that. You could definitely play that. You can definitely play that. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna only have odd cost cards. see. We could probably put this in here. Put that in there. Let's see. Let's get rid of these in favor of these. Draw 2 cards. Get rid of Deck of Wonder. I guess you put Harrison Jones in? Draw the lowest minion card in your hand? In your deck? Could I... If I got rid of all of these other minions, I could play this and guarantee that. So get rid of Mana Worm and get rid of this. And get rid of that. And that gets me that. Put that in the collection. Guess put that in the collection. There you go. Okay. So I'm just gonna call this one annoying. And what else do we have that we could do with the mage? I honestly don't think there really is too much there. Let's see, Mage. Get rid of the search for a draw. And I guess what I didn't do in the last recording, because I forgot about it, was just looking at what cards I didn't get. Here would be a card that would totally help to draw more cards. That's an amazingly crazy card. Let's see. This one might help also to get Sorcerer's Apprentices. This one might work to get Sorcerer's Apprentice. And this one is just insane. Change the cost of minions in your deck to 1. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. So what did I miss in the last recording? Did I not look at these? I may have actually had look at these. Not much. Alright, so I'm gonna search the key phrase deck. Let's see. There was a card that said draw your entire deck. And I don't recall where it is. It's probably a hero class. Here we go. It's a rogue class, draw the rest of your deck. And because it's a rogue class, it won't work on the mage deck at all. Alright, so that leaves us really just with the annoying mage. Like, you'd use mage to cast spells if you wanted a spell deck, but I'm not sure you really need that, and I'm pretty sure HS Replay could help me with that. So let's just try the annoying mage deck and see how that goes. Yep. Not a lot of variety in the mage. There never really was. A little bit of tweaks here and there, a little bit of experiments on tweaks. Maybe they are improvements, maybe they aren't, but that's kind of all we can do. It is weird. It is definitely a weird feeling to be into a new expansion and not be hyped about the new cards, but that's where I find myself, is I'm just not hyped by these new cards.
Give me strength. You asked for it.
I would be more hyped if they said I could get dust, I could get these hero replacement cards, characters, faces. If I could get something like that instead for using dust, that would be great. If I could get some card backs that I have missed out on collecting using dust, I'd be happy about that. But that's kind of it. Now, I'm in a weird position because I kind of have to wait. I can't put these guys out or they die. And if they die, then they don't succeed. So perhaps there needs to be a minion that reduces the cost of your minions. I'm not sure. And this spell damage +2 is great and all, but it's not going to really affect anything. I also need 5 of the 7 slots just maintained by these cards. Put a copy of a random card from the opponent's side. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this one is playing the exact same thing, and here's probably a card that should be in my deck. But then honestly, this is really going to become a non-issue, a real non-starter actually. Let's see, do this. Because HS Replay is just going to give me a better build on this deck than what I could ever possibly do.
Someday I'll be just like you.
So yeah, I think at this rate you are going to see the strategy done by someone better at playing this style of deck. Alright, let's play this.
Bubbles, but I take.
If I had Frozen Clone as a secret, which I could have had, that would have been helpful. Alright, we're gonna play this.
Bubbles, but I take. Hand it over.
And I'll kill this one. And then the turn. Or just kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice if that was the strategy. Gotta play this. Do this. I guess if I was gonna play Chromagus, though, I needed to not have already drawn these characters, because he's just gonna duplicate cards and that I don't really need.
One for all and all for me.
Yep. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it. So I've got 2 of these. Interesting. Can I maintain 2 of these though? This.
Come dance to my song.
Science overwhelming.
Let's see. And it doesn't really help me to have 2 of these at all. I can play one, and then if it gets killed, I can play the other. But without that reduction in cost, it's not gonna work. What did he do? Shuffle a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck.
Require my assistance.
And just do this.
Aha!
My hand is too full.
And so I'm effectively milling myself at this point.
Feeble mind.
Let's dance.
I guess I suppose I could have a
My hand is too full.
handful of cards and use them later.
Do you have the artifact?
And see, now he's going for the map of the golden monkey, which would eventually, if he goes through that whole process, that would cause him to have an entire deck full of legendaries. So I think I'd have to play this and kill all 3 of these guys. Or just let him kill all 3 of the guys.
My hand is too full.
And that was my second frozen clone.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Let's see.
Science overwhelming.
And see, now he's gonna kill that, so I shouldn't have done that. So I played wrong. Almost certainly they're gonna kill this one first. And that's gonna give me the frozen clone of the wrong character.
Be reborn in the earth.
Or, you know what? Actually, that's not even how Frozen Clone works, so forget it. He has like plenty of cards. I'm the one who almost out of cards. So that. Draw 3 cards, discard any spells. There was duplicate. There was mirror image. There was duplicate. That was useless. And there's Baron Rivendell.
The scourge will consume you.
So yeah, that's about the worst possible way you could play a deck like that. I hope I indicated the strategy here. Clearly, I don't play this meta deck. I hate this meta deck. So yeah, I'm not good at it. But the idea was to get 4 of these on the field. That way, this would have been down to 0, and then play this on the field, and then I could have played this and done 6 damage, and then I would have gotten another fireball and continuously played fireballs until I had defeated this enemy. And he doesn't, this mage, or this priest actually, doesn't have anything that would have saved him had I gotten to that point. But I really didn't get anywhere within a mile of that point. So it's an annoying deck to play, and it's not a very successful deck. And honestly, there's kind of nothing else to say about the mage. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm missing some things. Yeah. That seems like that is constantly the issue. Is even if you do open close to 50 packs, and in this expansion, it came a little too early in my opinion. I did not have enough gold to open 50 packs of the new expansion. Couldn't really afford it. I could only open about 40, and then I opened about 30 of the standard packs to get some more dust. Yeah, unless last time I calculated, you needed to open somewhere around 250 packs to get all the cards in an expansion, and more it feels like you kind of need to get that whole collection, complete collection in every expansion. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.